Have you ever heard this saying that the money is in the follow-up? Well, it's absolutely true. And most businesses are leaving money on the table with random and inconsistent follow-up. And I'm going to show you the exact system that I use and my clients use to nurture prospects, prepare appointments, and onboard customers, and stay in touch with people for the long term, every single time, religiously, without fail, automatically, so I never have to think about it again. That's right. Once you set it, you can forget it. And if you're like most business owners that I know and work with, you're sending out some type of email, some way, shape, or form, right? But you're not sure they're the right emails to the right person at the right time. Or maybe you got a newsletter that goes out whenever you remember to do it. Or maybe you got some type of automation set up, but you don't know if it's working effectively or not. And today I'm going to jump on my iPad and show you the 4 automated sequences that I use in my business. And this system is responsible for making millions of dollars. I've been doing this for about 16 years. And the reason it works is because it makes sure that nobody slips through the cracks. Prospect, customers, nobody slips through the cracks. But before we dive in, let me clarify, this video is not about cold email. That's a totally different strategy, totally different systems that you'd use. Today, we're talking about warm email. So people that have already opted in and are kind of waiting to hear from you. But before we get started, I want to go over the 2 distinctions when it comes to emails. One is doing like email blasts, where you're sending one email to a list of people. And the other one are drip campaigns. So when somebody opts in, emails are dripped over time, meant to educate and follow up with people. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to jump on the iPad here. But first, let's see. All right, I'm going to go over just a concept. I want you to understand why this is so important. So I can't tell you how many times when I first started my business, started my agency, this is one of the first things that I would implement, because most businesses back then didn't have any email follow-up going out at all. And from my experience, this was able to double people's sales in the first year every single time. And if you stay on to the end, I got a bonus for you, something that I do that would like get revenue going immediately when I first started working with clients. But first, understanding this concept that like when you have, some type of lead magnet, right? This is a magnet. That's terrible. Let's start over. All right. Let's say this is a magnet, right? And magnet is magnetizing forces of magnetism to bring people in. They opt in, you get a lead, and they come into your funnel, right? And let's say, for example, you had 100 leads come into your funnel. And let's say you got a closing average of about 20%, right? That would leave you with 20 clients, right? And that would leave about 80 people out in cyberspace, just chilling on your email list. And what most people do, let's say this is month 1, right? What most people do, they go into month 2 and they get 100 leads, 20 of them close and they're happy. And these 80 people are just sitting there, right? So let's say, as an example, that happens month 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm doing 10 because the math is easy, right? At the end of month 10, you have 800 leads that studies have shown that 80% of them are going to make a purchasing decision within 12 months. Right? So at the end of 10 months, you got 20 deals every single time. You got 200 leads or 200 clients, paying customers. And most people, they're happy with that. That's cool, right? But if you implement what I'm about to go over with you, and you're closing 80% of these people, you're getting an additional 64 customers in that year, totaling you out at 264 customers instead of 200. Like, what would that mean to your business if you were able to do that religiously? And that's just numbers speaking. That's not even saying like, hey, I'm tweaking and optimizing these emails to get even better results. But I can tell you that I found when I first started working with a company called Infusionsoft, I was running their team as a sales manager. And this is historically speaking, right? People got a 20% closing average. I found after running reports at Infusionsoft that, the new leads that were coming in out of that 100, my sales rep would close 20 of them, but they were getting 40 closed deals. I was like, where's the other ones coming from? They were getting another 20 deals. 50% of their deals were from new leads, and the other 50% were from old leads that were being followed up automatically, exactly how I'm about to go over with you. And my sales reps didn't have to lift a single finger. It was done automatically every single time. So let's get into it. Number one, new prospect automation. I think most systems are calling them automations nowadays. All right. Call them campaigns, workflows, whatever you want to call them, right? Whatever your system is. But this was the first one, right? If I had an opt-in, let's say I got a contact us form on my website, well, I would want, right when they fill out that form, I would want an email going out saying, hey, thanks for filling out our form. We got it. We'll be in touch with you as fast as humanly possible. I'm going to wait a day and I'm going to send out another email. And I'm going to say, hey, did you know, blah, 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 blah. I am educating these people. I want them to be educated on who I am, what we do, why we're the best, and what their pains are, solutions that I have for those pains so that they can utilize that information and make their lives better, right? I'm giving them value. I might be throwing in there some case studies like, oh, by the way, did you know that so-and-so worked with us and they got a killer result here? So I might wait another day. Which, by the way, I used to stagger it a lot more, but nowadays with everybody's short attention spans, I just do one a day. Again, I'm mostly educating here, and I want to say that that's it. They're getting these 5 emails over the course of 5 or so days, and it's driving them to something. It's giving them value. It's educating them, and then I got call to actions. And they're like, "What's the next step?" Well, I want them to book a call, right? So great. I want them to book a call. Now I might have another opt-in. And I like to think about it like this, every way somebody can opt in, I need these 5 emails. I need this. This is automation that's happening automatically to get people warmed up to take that next step. So for every single, let me make this a little bit further down. Every single opt-in, I might have say a cheat sheet or a script that people can follow, right? When they opt into that, then they need a sequence or automation going out. Right? So when they get a download, the first email is like, hey, here's your download. Enjoy it. This is how it works. And then the rest, these emails here, they're the same. I just copy them. There's no real reason for me to change that. And if I got another opt-in, say maybe it's a VSL, it's like, hey, thanks for watching my VSL. And by the way, boom, here's these other 5 emails. And again, these ones are all the same. I don't have to rewrite these. So I'm writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 emails. I'm writing 7 emails to have this automation set up for every single new opt-in that comes in religiously. They're getting this. And we're driving them to booking a call. So I might have a tag in my system that recognizes when somebody books an appointment. So when this happens and say they're on this email here, that they don't get this email or this email because they booked a call. The sequence did its function. It got them to the next step. And that's the whole purpose. Okay. I'm going to show you in a little while what to do with these people if they don't book a call. Step number 2, booked appointment. Now, the process I'm going to go over with you here literally took my show rate from about 30% to 80%. I was paying about $500 per appointment, and I was just throwing money in the trash because I didn't have this system set up. So what I did was, the first step that I did was when somebody booked an appointment, it went to a special landing page. And that landing page had a video of me talking and getting them all hyped up about the appointment, what they're going to learn on it, regardless if they buy or not. No harm, no foul, but you'll walk away being able to do this, right? I want them to be excited for that call, because what happens after someone takes an action, a few days go by and they cool off, and then they end up not showing up, right? I want to get them all hyped up and jazzed up. And then I want to show them some case study videos. I want them to get all hyped up about that. Hey, you can also get these results that Billy and Susie got right here, right? And the next thing is my system's going to recognize when the appointment gets scheduled, and we're going to send them an email right away. And it's going to give them the information on the appointment, get them to add it to their calendar, let them know what they can expect, and again, hype them up a little bit about the actual appointment. Now, my system's going to recognize when that appointment is, so I'm going to have a timer, and I'm going to wait 3 days before the appointment. So if they schedule a call 2 days, they're not going to get this email. If they're booked out a week out, then it's going to wait till 3 days before the appointment, and it's going to send this email here. And usually in this email, I'm basically going over some type of teaching. I'm teaching them something that's valuable, and I'm saying, hey, by the way, you're going to get way more than this on our call. And now they're hyped up a little bit, right? And then 2 days later, or 2 days before the appointment, I'm going to send another email, and that's going to be like a case study, like, hey, show up to this, because then you have an opportunity to get the same experience that, Billy did, right? And then I'm going to send one, there we go. I'm going to send another one day before. And again, I'm going to teach them something and say, hey, you're going to learn more on this call. And then I'm going to do one at 8 a.m. the day of the appointment. And that email is going to say, hey, I look forward to seeing you today. Make sure you show up, have a piece of paper and pen handy. Make sure, you are, in front of a computer and you're not traveling, and you can focus on this because it's going to be so awesome. And then I'm going to have another email go out 1 hour before the appointment. Just, hey, by the way, look forward to seeing you in an hour. I can't wait. Talk to you soon. Not a big deal, but we're getting in front of them. And nowadays, what I actually do is I will send out a SMS text message, and I'll send that out 1 hour before, and then I'll send out another text message 15 minutes before. And that system right there took me from a 30% show rate to an 80% show rate simply by having that implemented. Now, the third important one is your customer onboarding automation. All right. So the customer onboarding, my system recognizes when someone's credit card went through, and I'm going to send them a welcome email right away. And then I'm going to, wait a day. And every business is a little bit different. You want to outline what your process is. But for us, we have people fill out an onboarding form. So we're reminding people constantly to fill out this onboarding form. And when they do fill out the onboarding form, the system recognizes that. So if they filled it out here, they're not going to get these 2 other emails. They're just going to get the ones that they did until they filled that out. They filled out the onboarding form. And then once they fill that out, we are then reminding them to book their onboarding call. So we'll wait a day, remind them, because when they fill out the onboarding form, that once they fill it out, they go to a landing page that has the calendar so that they can actually book the call, but they don't always do it right then and there. So we want to remind them. So if they do book the call, the system recognizes that, and it will stop all these reminder emails, because you don't want them to get those reminder emails if they've already done something. They've already taken that action, right? So we wait a day, we keep reminding every day. Why haven't you done this yet? Why haven't you done this yet? We're the annoying freaking ex-girlfriend. I'm just kidding. But we got a call. Once they book the call, great. That stops it. And when they book a call, we will wait 1 week. And then we will send out a message just saying how's it going? We'll wait 1 month after that, and we'll send them a survey. We'll wait 1 month after that, and we will ask them for a referral. And then we'll wait 1 month after that, and we will ask them to do a case study, and we will wait a month after that, and we will tell them about a upsell opportunity, or maybe another product or service, that we're doing. And what I do normally is I will take this and I just duplicate it. I tweak up the content a little bit so it doesn't sound exactly the same. We're doing another survey. We're asking for referrals again. And instead of a case study, we would ask for a review. I usually send out reviews to Google and, Trustpilot and any other system that you're using trying to get referrals. And then again, we would ask for, some type of upsell or other service. Now, it's totally reasonable that if we are doing our job and they have trusted us to do business with us, and we are giving them exactly what they wanted, they're getting a good transformation, and we're over delivering in their experience that they're having, that it's totally reasonable, that their surveys will be good. They'll want to give us a referral. They'll definitely jump on a case study, and they'll want to do more business with us. But this system, what it does is it automatically, religiously asks for the things that a lot of times we forget to ask for referrals. We forget to ask for case studies, right? We forget these things. We forget to ask them to do more business with us. And this does it religiously. So it increases the value of each one of your customers by having this automation in place. So that is number 3. Number 4 is a long-term nurture. So the long-term nurture, I used to do a 12-month sequence with 8 emails just scattered abroad. And I just want to stay in front of them and push them to booking a call, basically, is what the call to action was. I don't necessarily do this anymore. So instead of doing a drip sequence that this used to be, I just found over time people stopped replying to these and stopped engaging with them. And it's like we're so used to automation and everything. So I started doing blasts. And what I would do is kind of like I call it a newsletter, although it's not a newsletter. It's not talking about, our business and what we're up to. It's about the pains and suffering that they're going through and how we can give them some type of education to overcome those things. Because again, remember, these people that fall into here, these were those 80 leads I was talking about earlier. This is the 80% of people that will make that purchasing decision sometime within the next 12 months. So we want to be emailing them minimum once a month to stay in front of them. And by doing a drip sequence and a blast, we're able to talk about current events, something that shows that it's not automated. And we are able to send that email out once a month in a blast. And that way, when these 80% of people, when they're ready to buy, they remember exactly who you are. They know how to get in touch with you, and you end up doubling your sales simply through follow-up. All right. So I did tell you that I got a bonus here. Okay. Let's say bonus number 5. All right. Now, remember these 4 things. Let's just recap real quick. We got the new prospect automation. We got the booked appointment. We got customer onboarding, and we got long-term nurture. Those things alone double every business I've ever implemented this. They double their sales in the first 12 months, if not more. Now, the bonus here is what to do right now. So a lot of businesses, they're not actually booking their call. They're not actually, or not booking their call. They're actually not doing any follow-up religiously, right? So their list is getting cold. This is what I call the humble apology email. This is an email blast. It goes out to your list. I did this with a client that had a list of 18,000 people on her email list, and she was booked out solid for 3 months straight. This thing works, and it works fast. So anytime I would work with a client, this literally was the first thing I would do to get them a result, and then they would love me from here on out. And then I had time to build out those other 4 campaigns that would allow them to double their sales in the first 12 months. So how this humble apology works is you send an email to a list, and I literally just go, hey, long time no talk. It's been a while. I apologize that, I haven't been in contact with you. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. But I've been in the lab trying to do X, Y, and Z to make your lives better by having X, Y, and Z. If it's something that if X, Y, and Z is something that you're interested in, go ahead and book a call with me. That's simple. I know over time, what I've ended up doing is instead of sending it out in necessarily a 1 email blast, I would actually send out 3 emails, and I would literally just copy the first one. And at the top be like, hey, just in case you didn't see my email from yesterday, here it is. And then it's down here, right? Blah, blah, blah. And then this one would just be like, hey, I didn't hear back from you. Sometimes emails get crazy and you might not have received it, but I sent this email just kind of touching base, letting you know that I was able to do X, Y, and Z. If you're dealing with A, B, C, book a call. And you just got 3 emails going out now instead of 1, because you don't know if they're all getting to people's inboxes nowadays. So you want a few of them so that you can maximize your humble apology email. Now, that's what I've been using for about 16 years. it freaking works. And I'm not some genius that came up with this on my own. It's been over years and years and years of other people's experiences. And then I was able to implement it when I owned my digital agency. Now, if this video has helped you, then please like it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click the bell for notifications so you can get notified of the next video that I have coming out, talking about tips and tricks and things that I've learned along the way to help me scale my business. And if you know anybody that could benefit from this video, just share it with them right now. And if you're looking to build your dream team, then click in the description. There's a video there so you can learn how insourcing beats outsourcing every single time. Go ahead and watch that, and I will see you in the next video.